Today we're going to cover 4 different types of knots for ascending into a tree. We're going to set up what's called a traditional system. So the first knot that we're going to tie is called the monkey's fist, and the monkey's fist is meant to be a throwing knot for short distances. So you want to take your rope, and you only need about 10 to 12 inches. Okay, so you're going to make 3 loops, and you're going to make sure that all of the loops on both ends match up. So I have 1, 2, 3 loops, and then I have 3 loops down here. From here, I'm going to start rolling the rope. I have my hand over the knot, and I'm taking my arm and I'm rolling it. And by rolling it, it allows you to have, it won't let the rest of this rope kink on you, as opposed to wrapping it. So we're going to roll it. Once you have about the same opening here as you do over here, we're going to start rolling it back on top of itself. And when you're rolling it, you want to make sure the knot is staying good and tight. This will help it stay together if you have to throw it 3 or 4 different times. Once you roll it back on itself, I'm then going to take a little piece of the rope, and I'm going to feed it through. I'm going to feed it through these 3 loops up top, and I'm going to grab it. I'm going to pull some excess rope through. Now I'm going to pull the loop down and feed the whole knot right through the rope, and that will secure it in place. This is what the monkey's fist looks like when it's tied. To take it apart is pretty simple. All you have to do is feed the rope back the same way that you fed it through originally. And all I have to do is pull the working end, pull it all the way down, back through those 3 loops, and then it's unraveled. So now I have the monkey's fist tied up here, and the rope is already hanging, so I didn't have to throw it a couple different times. So I'm just going to undo this monkey's fist, and we're going to start the bowline knot. That is the first of the other 3 knots that we're going to learn today. The bowline is a knot that's meant to hold. And for this, you'll need either a carabiner, or if you don't have a carabiner, just something with a hole through it, like a washer. So for the bowline knot, you're going to want to make sure you have about 6 feet in excess to work with. So I'm going to pull this rope down, and I'm going to step on it, step on the end. I'm going to pull up above my head, and I like to have a little bit of extra. So 6 feet for me might be here. I'm going to pull a little bit extra down. And this is where I'm going to secure the carabiner into the bowline knot. You're going to want to feed the carabiner through. Get a little closer. So I'm holding the carabiner in my right hand, and I'm taking my thumbs and I'm twisting them towards each other, bringing my right hand up, forming a little loop. Now I'm going to secure the carabiner in my left hand so it looks like this. Show you a couple different angles. Now I'm going to take the end of my rope and I'm going to feed it up through the hole, and I'm going to go around the back side of this piece of rope, and I'm going to come right back down through the hole. Now I'm holding the end, and I'm taking this loop and I'm making that loop smaller. So at this point I can let go of the carabiner. This is called dressing the knot. You don't need a real big loop for your carabiner. Once you get the right size, you're going to grab this piece and this piece with my right hand, and I'm going to grab this piece of the rope and I'm going to pull. That will secure this bowline knot. Your bowline knot should look something like this. From here we're going to go ahead and tie the friction knot. The type of friction knot that we're going to tie is called a B53. There's all sorts of friction knots out there, but for demonstration purposes we're just going to do a B53, and you'll notice that there's going to be 5 loops on this rope at the end. So I have my rope. I'm going to take the end, the loose end, and I'm going to create a bridge. So I'm going to have about between 10 and a 12-inch bridge, and I'm going to come in front of the other part of the rope that's hanging. So it looks like it's behind from your angle, but when it's facing me, this bridge is in front of this rope here. So now I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to put it parallel to the rope here, and I'm going to make 3 loops. So I have 1, 2, 3 loops are on my finger, and I want 2 loops off. 1, 2. I'm going to come around like I'm going to do a third and bring this piece of rope in front of the bridge. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I went 1 too many. I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to reach around the back of this rope, and I'm going to grab this piece, remove my finger, and I'm going to put the rope up through the back. I'm going to pull it tight, and I'm going to dress this friction knot so I make sure I have about a 10-inch or a 12-inch bridge, and then you simply pull. That is what your friction knot should look like. After your friction knot, all you need to do is create a safety knot at the end of the rope. Any knot that is tied, you always want to make sure you have a safety knot, and the safety knot is simply a figure 8. So to do the safety knot, I'm going to make a little loop. I'm going to come, instead of coming up through, I'm going to come back up and over and down through that loop, and that creates the figure 8. The figure 8, you should have it as close to your knot as possible. Some people will even put a safety knot in here. And from here you're ready to climb. As long as you have a harness, your helmet, So just to clarify again, we did the monkey's fist, the bowline, the friction knot, and the safety knot. Thank you.